Come on, come on, come on. How you want it, cognac or Patron? Brunch with the boys, we gon' give you what you want. And what you don't know, we about to put you on. Come on, come on, come on. How you want it, cognac or Patron? Brunch with the boys, we gon' give you what you want. And what you don't know, we about to put you on. Yes, we are the trending topic. We relationship prophets. Brunch with the boys, we the hottest. Brunch with the boys, we the hottest.
What's going on? It's your boy King Des here. Another episode of Brunch with the Boys. I'm doing fabulous this evening. How you guys doing tonight?
Jeezy, what's good, everybody? I'm flying high as always.
Ooh. Can you take the straw out your mouth though? We do professional shit here. We don't do shit with the straws in the mouth, bro. Take the nigga out of Miami, but can't take Miami out the nigga, huh?
Yeah, he too cool, it's all.
But show him the shoes though, Gent. Show him the shoe. Show him the shoe.
He got old man shoes on today, y'all. Can you get them in that?
Hey, we see the soul.
He's not
Look
really
at
that flexible.
look.
Yeah, come on, man. Tighten up, man. Tighten up.
Put your leg down now, nigga.
Yeah,
I pulled a hamstring on
Yeah, you did. I know you did. He laughed it off though. He tried to laugh it off. What we talking about tonight?
listen, we want to get into something that I believe every woman is going to benefit from, and that is how to be a man's peace. So before we really get into that, you know, we want to talk about what peace is. Freedom from disturbance, tranquility. You know what I'm saying? How many women are really giving you tranquility? You know,
Right.
that's important. And peace comes internally and externally. An internal peace we obviously can control. However, external factors can, you know, influence our internal peace, excuse me. So it's important that we isolate ourselves from toxic behaviors. So by that, I want to get into those toxic behaviors, and we're going to speak, ladies, really for you so you can see the bullshit y'all be on, whether it be subconsciously or not, so that hopefully you can make the changes necessary to be a man's peace. If not with this nigga, the next one, because this nigga probably mad and he probably done. You know,
Yeah.
keep it real. So the first sign of a toxic woman is always questions where you are. Now, I know that seems simple, but have you ever had a woman question where you are?
Yeah, I have, but I feel like I gave her good reason.
Gets mad if you don't respond to her calls and texts immediately? Des?
Man, is that really toxic? Could she genuinely care about
Wow.
where you are?
I'm surprised you said that.
No. Can she genuinely? I'm asking the question because I can't just attribute everything to myself. Like, can
Yeah.
she genuinely be like, where are you?
How
are you
frequently
doing?
is that? Is that every time you leave the house? Because what I get from this is always questions where you are. So when you're not with her, she's like, hey, what's going on? What you doing? And sometimes it comes off as innocent, and maybe she is just concerned and thinking about you and missing you.
Right.
But if you don't respond to her text and she starts tripping, like, dang, what you was doing? I text you, an hour went by.
I think it's whatever expectation you set, right? So like for me personally, from the inception of any relationship I'm in, like I set the expectation. You're not gonna micromanage me. You're not an overseer of me. You're not an authority figure. So you're not gonna have checks and balances on me. I'm gonna be courteous because we're in a relationship and I care about you. So I will let you know some things and I expect you to do the same. But we're not gonna have that type of relationship. So for me, it's never been an issue. I think if you don't check that shit from the jump, but you get mad 9-10 months in,
Yeah.
shame on you, nigga. Like,
How you start tends to be how, you know, it goes. So if you start doing something early, fellas, especially in the courting stage, and then you change that and now you're more serious, I mean, it would warrant.
And I'm glad you said the courting stage. So I think we have to dissect it even down to the type of relationship you're in, right? So, like, if you're in a boyfriend-girlfriend dating situation, right, and you don't see that person day in, day out, and she's asking questions in regards to what you're doing or how you're doing or where you're doing and all that type of stuff, that might be more validated given the amount of time and proximity that they are to you, right? However, if you live with this person day in, day out, and those questions are like being fired in a rapid response rate, like an AK-47 at you, like, I don't think that's equally fair at that point.
So
I feel
basically,
like
if you
now
see
that's
him every
turning
day-
into something different to me. Like, but also there's a piece I believe that sometimes some men can be hypersensitive because sometimes we be on bullshit, right? And so if you ask me where I'm at all the goddamn time, I'm like, God damn, you keep asking. Like there might, and it may not even be all the time. It just may be enough. But
Right.
if I'm sensitive to it or hypersensitive, I'm gonna probably react a certain way.
Yeah.
And so I think there's some other things that you got to take into consideration. But if you're doing it on like for no reason with obscene sense of frequency, yeah, man, you disturbing my peace, man. The brother can't even get through the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that because it doesn't matter whether I see you all the time. It doesn't matter whether I see you rarely. The fact of the matter is I'm going to respond when I can.
Yeah,
You should trust that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to call you when I can. So you can text me at your convenience because you have control of that. You can even call me. But that doesn't mean I have to answer. And when I do call, all I have to do is call you back. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
So that's all I'm saying.
I think there's a difference if a chick is checking you, D, and I think that's the difference. If she checks you in a way where she's getting mad to Jeezy's point because you ain't pick up, that's gonna rub me a different way rather than just the frequency of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't get mad at me, bro. I'll meet you where you're at.
Whoa.
You know, that's my problem, right?
What about the chicks that can never admit that they're wrong?
Mm.
Now, I've dealt with women that have openly said I have a hard time, admitting when I'm wrong. Have you ever dealt with any of that?
That's most women.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not, and I'm not one for generalizations, but I think that's why I said most. But I think that's like 92 to 93% of all women.
Yeah.
You put the 3 in there, the extra 3%.
'Cause I think all right, so I'm probably going to get some people mad at me, but keep it real. I think a lot of dudes are fine, especially on small shit, just taking accountability for the good of the order, right?
sure.
Like
Yeah.
it's not worth this, it's not worth the back and forth, it's not worth any of that. So I think a lot of dudes take that, and I think women get used to that shit. But when big shit happens and dudes like, all right, yeah, I left the fucking refrigerator door open, but I ain't do this shit, right? And I think women get used to that, and I think they try to apply that benefit that they get most of the time to every situation. I think that's when a lot of friction occurs. You know?
Yeah, I think you have to be able to admit when you're wrong. Man, how childish are you if you can't just admit when you're wrong? The problem is there's no accountability. The problem is women have this sense of entitlement as if they're supposed to be allowed to act this way. They're supposed to be allowed to get away with
that's
this.
society
Right.
for you.
Because
Right.
this is what's been going on.
Right.
And that's where the bullshit comes on. But it's hard to call it. We know it's toxic, but it's hard to even say, hey, stop this shit, because we feed into it. Because like Des says, we're told and taught to
Conditioned.
quickly apologize, to dead it, try to extend that olive branch and move past it.
So you don't think it's, and this is to either one of you don't think it's a self-awareness issue? Like,
You mean for the woman?
yeah, for a woman, like,
I think it is. I mean, I think it's a self-awareness issue, but here's the thing, though. I think some women who perpetuate that whole, like, it's not my fault, I don't take responsibility, I think sometimes they know it's their fault.
Yeah.
I think they know it's that they were the reason or the cause for this, but I think that the conditioning that men take responsibility for a lot of stuff is so strong that they feel not only safe but empowered, right,
Yeah.
to put that on the man, even when they know they're in the wrong. And
How crazy is that, though?
It's real.
that's insane,
It's real,
though.
To know you're wrong. How narcissistic is that? You selfish asshole. Look in the mirror is what you need to do, because the reality is for you to act that way and expect him to do differently, it's ridiculous.
You know, it's interesting, and I probably perpetuate that, right? So I got 2 kids, right? I got a son and a daughter. Then my son's older, and he's about 2 years older, 2.5 years older. And like when they're in the pool or when anything's going on, like if I hear my daughter say stop more than once, and she's like stop, I'm coming out there and I'm like, yo, I'm on him like, why don't I?
You don't even know the whole story yet.
Don't know shit. The whole story, nigga. I don't know none of the story. All I know is my daughter said stop.
Yeah.
But I hear him like, stop. I'm like, nigga, stop being soft, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so
like,
you kind of perpetuate.
I'm sure I am. You know what I mean?
I do the same thing,
You
too.
know what I mean? Like,
We hold our sons to a tougher standard than
Indeed.
we do our daughters. And
Does that have a part in it? Is
and-
what we're talking about.
exactly. And
So
I'm
shame
not
on
sure.
us.
No, I'm not sure that that's
A
the
little
wrong
bit.
thing. I think that is the right thing because, to a certain extent, women have to be protected. Right? Men, a part of our job is to protect, and maybe not to the extreme that some men take it, but especially your daughter. You know, you are being a good dad, and when it comes to your son, I always say I don't know if we're hurting them or preparing them. Because the fact of the matter is, in real life, that's how they're going to be treated. They're going to get the tougher end of the stick.
Yeah.
Shit's going to be
No benefit
expected.
of doubt.
They're going to be no benefit of the doubt. Their emotions are going to be expected to be in check. So if I don't help you do it now, nigga, when the shit
talk.
hits, it's going to be overwhelming. My son has had moments where his emotions hit so hard, being unable, feeling like his thoughts or feelings weren't being heard, and his mom wouldn't understand, and she was being so unfair.
Right.
And did he have a point? Hell yes, to some extent. But the fact is, how he handled it, it was still wrong, and I had to check him on that. And that was tough to basically say something, even though you're right, how you still have to handle it the right way, or you're going to be looked at.
Indeed.
So let me ask the question. So in those events where, and we all smell ourselves from time to time where we not gonna own everything, right? And we got the whole shit together. We can prove easily that there's no reason or rationale for us to say sorry. Like, so
You'll still say it.
we'll still say
Do
it?
you want to hit that night? You planning to have sex?
Yeah.
You'll still say it. Unless it's something major,
Right.
you know you're going to say it. If it's something major, you know you're a person too, and none of us are hurting for pussy in that regard as far as being able to obtain it. So in that way, of course, you're going to apologize because you want to move on, and it's Friday night. You ain't going to you are not ruining the weekend, nigga.
Right.
When you can say sorry,
Especially
my
some
bad.
minor shit. Who left the freezer door open?
Yeah, and I don't even know what it is, but a my bad, one rub on the back, and everything is good, and I'm above that. Nah,
Right.
I'm gonna say sorry.
I might
and
be
get
too,
some
I
head
might be
that
too
night.
emotional for that shit.
Yeah,
'Cause
wow. I'm gonna get that head that night. I'll tell you that. Sorry, baby.
and with that smile too,
You think I get some head though?
With
You know,
with
it's-
that
stupid.
Kool-Aid
Listen,
smile.
man, come on, man. All right, she's spiteful. When I think spiteful,
Petty?
I think petty.
Petty
you know?
LaBelle, Petty
And
Murphy.
I have not met a woman yet.
Petty
who is
tender ass
not
down.
petty. I know, that's a good one. Is pettiness? And I talked about this before we even started recording. Isn't pettiness just a feminine trait? Would you agree?
No, men can be petty too.
I know they can be, but it seems like women are just naturally petty.
But I'm gonna say this. I think petty is synonymous with an action, and that action is retribution, right?
Yeah.
And I think men are fully capable of retribution, right? So we call it, we use different words, but I think it depends on the individual. And I was just having this conversation with somebody today. It was like, you know, and I was explaining this to my son. Like, when there are people that are very, very thoughtful in how they deal with conflict, meaning, you know, I'm a student, come from a good home, I want to get a good job and go to a good college, I don't want a criminal record. So they get in a fight, win or lose it, to them they fought and it is what it is. There's people who have nothing to lose, will get in a fight, lose badly, and then come back and stab you or shoot you or something like that because they want retribution for that, for what they feel was that wrong. And so I think retribution and the level of retribution that people feel like they need to have some type of closure is completely independent upon each individual. And I think men are fully capable of that. If we want to differently define pettiness to a lesser extent of women just doing some tit for tat shit, then I would agree with you.
Yeah.
But in a broader sense, I think
definitely think you're right, and I see your point. In fact, I changed mine. But damn, I've only experienced pettiness from a woman. You know, on any level, really. And maybe I'm just forgetting something, and I'm pretty sure that's possible too. But
let me address what you said real quick. So if your question is, I would say this. I think women are more apt to be petty and seek retribution, but I think men are capable. I just think it happens more with women. So I don't disagree with you. I just think it happens.
in a relationship,
Sure.
I think the petty is nothing
Especially
but
within a
a
relationship.
form or just a weapon used to hurt, right? It's and I
A
think
definition.
that you know what I'm saying, and I think that in all honesty, women will tend to utilize this as an option simply because they can't hurt you any other way, you know. And sometimes if you don't have any weapon, you're gonna find, and you have to defend yourself, you're gonna find whatever is closest or whatever's on the ground to get the job done. And I honestly feel like this is just how
And you know
petty
what's,
people think.
You know what's
You know what I'm
worse?
saying?
So many women now are proud
To
that
be
they're
petty?
and they big it up. And
Stay away from me,
I'm
bitch.
petty. You better not fuck with me. I'm petty. I'm the type of bitch to slash your tires.
Yeah.
Really, ho? And then you wonder why you single and you 36 and nobody don't want to stay. They just want to hit and go. You know, because
Dog, you know what? That's a perfect dog. You know
this
what?
makes no sense.
That means I agree now completely that women are probably most likely petty. Remember when Jasmine Sullivan came out with break the windows out your car?
Yeah, come on. A man would have never wrote that.
Dog,
He might have said it in
dog,
a rap, though.
the movement that came after that with all the women just like, yes, baby.
Because that's what women would do anyway.
I mean, come on. Who supports damaging someone's property in retribution because you were hurt because maybe he ain't do this or
No,
he
he
cheated
fucked
on
your
you?
sister. He
No,
did
That's
that.
what it
fuck
do
your
with-
sister's a little too much.
That's what it
though.
do, but that's a dude's form of retribution.
Yeah.
But I would say, to Gent's point, to Jeezy's point, I think that he hit the nail on the head. I think women have very few ways of hurting men, right? Like, unless we've had this conversation before.
Yeah.
If a woman leaves you, you might be sad about it, but you'll have another bitch quick.
Yeah.
Doing things,
Yeah.
everything, if not more than the bitch who left you was
2
doing.
to 3 weeks. If
Max,
you really,
Max.
you
And if
know.
you're a regular nigga, too. If you special, not that long.
Well, and even a special nigga, he need a week or so to.
I mean,
for
yeah, man.
himself,
You don't got no application process.
No,
or
no,
nothing?
for yourself.
Goddamn.
let me tell
Hey,
you
you on
something.
an interview process?
Listen
or
to me. We're going to keep it real. Special niggas constantly have a roster. Whether or not
Okay,
whether or not
yeah.
they decide to coach the team.
Yeah.
That's
They
another
got,
thing.
They
right?
got a couple irons
But
in the
they
fire.
always
Yeah.
got. They
Yeah.
always
So
got.
they an
somebody-
owner. They
Oh,
just not actively
They
coaching.
always got somebody willing to
Okay.
step. Whether or not they entertaining that
Yeah.
career, they always have somebody to step up. So that's my thing. But yeah, man. I think
Solid analogy, homeboy.
hey, man.
Yeah.
You out
Yeah.
here, huh?
I mean,
She's incapable of trust. If she's always accusing you of cheating, since we mentioned that earlier, you know, that's pretty big a sign of toxicity. If she can't trust you, always, man, you fucking with somebody. Everything comes to that.
If you never gave her a reason to feel like that, then that's the biggest insecurity, and you need to go seek some professional counseling because I ain't gonna be a counselor. I'll tell you that shit right now.
So if you did give her a reason to, and she decided to stay with you, that means it's okay for her to not trust you and to, you know.
You already know how I feel about it.
Because I'm just asking, she's
if
choosing to stay. So
if a
you're
chick
choosing to stay-
legitimately stays, dog, and that means she's forgiving you, she needs to restore you back to where
Well,
you
but
were.
you made
at
it-
some point.
But you
Or
made
then
it-
why do it?
you made it huge. I'm not arguing the result of what you're saying. I'm talking about you made an assumption that because a woman takes you back and says that she's forgiven you, that in actuality and functionality
it might
she's
be a
forgiven you.
punishment.
And that she hasn't forgiven your ass, at least not fully. And I think that's easier said than done, man. I think women get listen, man, it's shitty out here for chicks. I ain't gonna lie. It's shitty out here for chicks. I got a daughter, and I've been a dude my whole motherfucking life. And
Whole time?
I know how motherfuckers you got to specify nowadays. Goddamn, be a born a nigga, be a woman in the Olympics, but that's another story. So, but I know how motherfuckers are, man. I've been 13, I've been 18, I've been 25, I've been 30, I've been 35, and I know how niggas act, and I know what they want, and I know how they go about it, and I don't have the same fears for my son as I do for my daughters. That's just a realization, and there's a reason for that, because in actuality, women get fucked over a lot. It's a lot of no good nothing niggas out here, and I think women get burned and burned and burned, and I don't think it's fair that the nigga that they get that doesn't burn them gets the brunt of all the bad motherfuckers before him.
Yeah.
But she's not coming from left field with that, and I think when you get burned 4 or 5 times, it's very easily said but more difficultly done to be real cool with that 6th nigga and be like, man, everything go. He ain't gonna do nothing bad. When the previous 5 have been,
that's
fuck
fair.
niggas, you know what I mean? So
That's fair. Like, man, we get that childhood trauma early. We get it out the way real quick, and
How
it
so?
hurts, and then it morphs us.
which out here trauma?
You know what I'm saying? Like, when I feel like most men, we all start off good, and we always had this conversation how women develop much faster than men.
Fact.
And at the end of the day, most boys, I guess I would say, when they're young and they start dealing with a chick, that chick always tends to burn them at a young age.
You mean disappoint them or treat them wrong? Because burn is a whole nother.
Okay,
in
not the
hood.
gonorrhea.
Okay.
But I'm
Alright.
talking about like treat them wrong, mistreat them, cheat on them, whatever it may be, right?
Because hoes ain't shit either. And
Yeah,
from an
especially at
early
that age. Because I know it happened to me, and in my head, I'm like, a bitch ain't gonna get another chance with me like that. Like you gonna have to earn this shit. Like
Right.
So I think men inherently start off good, and then we kind of depending on that.
And not always. So
Out the gate, you were bad with it.
no, well, I don't know, but my point of the matter is though, every man doesn't have good intentions, and it doesn't always. And I know plenty. I have plenty of friends that whenever they referred to a woman, it was on some bullshit, and they never viewed them as anything great or a queen in which they would, it was just a hoe that they trying to hit, and then it's the next one. So, it's hard for me to agree with you on that. I do think some people just ain't shit. There's some women ain't shit. There were some girls in high school that was just hoes, like would fuck anybody that she thought looked cute or that was interested in her. What made her a hoe already? What could have happened already? We don't know.
She don't got no daddy.
She was just a hoe. I don't know. I don't know if she had a daddy, but it couldn't have been.
She was a preacher's daughter.
They always the wildest. My point of the matter is you don't always know why. I don't think you always know why. So okay, she keeps tabs on your mistakes and throws them in your face.
That's definitely toxic.
Even when you think it's all gone down, like even when you think things are good, and it could be 8 months later, and she said, "Yeah, like you did when you saw that bitch the other." She can throw
it in anywhere.
If you cheat too, fellas. I mean, she can throw that in your face if she stays with you 10 to 20 years. And I saw my mom throw it on my dad's face 35 years after he did it.
He got to eat shit every time.
And he ate it. And he ate. Watching him eat it was hard. I was like, God damn, that shit tastes horrible. That shit does not look good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's just a reality that a woman, and I hate it, but my mom was exhibiting toxic behavior. That is not behavior that any man finds pleasing. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
We should bring it up in the next prayer.
But you got to listen as a dude. As a dude in that situation, you got to know, man. Like you got to know the type of chick you're dealing with. Not every chick is gonna throw back up in your face. A lot will, but not all of them. And you got to know if you got the chick that's gonna throw it up in your face, and you done fucked up, and you choose to remain. It's kind of like your dad knew. He knew when he stayed.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna be dealing with this shit for a while.
Oh yeah.
He already knew, which is why every time she bring it up, he just kind of probably laid back.
That's when I know he's strong.
I
saw his strength. That's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
He laid back and he didn't say one
word.
What are you gonna say?
He did give one little head nod like this.
I think he said "la." It was one of those, and that was it. I'm
gonna be honest with you, man. I honestly think, like, especially those chicks that love to journal, that they ain't never gonna forget.
Yeah, they writing down dates.
They writing down dates.
You think a lot of grown women journal?
I still think a lot of women journal. Yeah.
I think they notate important dates, and I wondered the same thing until a date was thrown in my face. Like 6 years we're going, like, this was the year we did this. You don't even remember, do you? I was like, fuck, I don't actually. You know? So it's like, yes, if it's important to them, they will notate that date.
But I'm telling you, if you honestly are just keeping count the entire time, there is no way that you're going to ever get over the hill and have a productive relationship. There's no way.
They say.
I mean, if you're gonna hold someone accountable for some undisclosed amount of time, just leave that dude right then and there, because there's no reason for you to torture yourself or for him to be tortured. Like, real talk.
Yeah.
All right, so if she uses a lack of intimacy as currency or punishment, boy, in that case, 98% of the women worldwide are toxic.
No, straight up.
Because at some point, every woman has used sex or the lack of it as punishment, and certainly it's used as currency. I think of incentive. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The problem with that is, though, I mean, like, this is independent of the question you asked, because I agree with you 100%, so nothing to add there. But how many times have we said this? I'm trying to look in the camera.
Is that the camera?
Ladies, do not use sex as currency. Do not use sex as punishment, because you think, that he's not getting enough for a month. No, ho. Yes, he is. He's just not getting it with you. And so I'm telling you that what you think you're accomplishing by doing that is not going to serve the purpose you intended to serve. And when your feelings get hurt and your bed get empty, you're going to be reevaluating what you did. So listen to what I'm telling you. I'm not trying to be a hard ass or nothing, but I need y'all to look in my eyes, and I need you to feel me. I need you to hear me. Listen to me. Listen to me.
So intense. It's piercing even. Jesus.
Just
I
remember.
hope they listen, dog,
I hope
because
they listen,
just remember
that moment right there, nigga, that was powerful right there.
I think every woman needs to remember there's a reason why so many women are single. And a lot of women I hear lately are saying, I'm fine with being single. And
Liar.
And to an extent,
Why you
I believe they're telling
lying?
the truth. Showing your age. I believe the
RL.
way I believe the reason that they're saying that is because they've accepted the reality that they likely may not find a man. It's not that they don't want one. They just haven't found one, and it's not looking good. So they have no faith to believe I should be talking about a future with my man. It's looking bad.
I want to bring this up on another podcast, and it's kind of tying on what you're talking about, but on an extreme tangent. And it's about what you talk about, because I've had female friends, coworkers tell me there's not no good men out here is a premium and da 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 da. And I think I disagree with that, because I think you got this many women going for the same puddle of men. There's a lot of hardworking, honest, respectful brothers out here who don't get the attention that they should, because they don't got a six-pack, or their eyelashes ain't pretty, or their hairline ain't
Eyelashes,
where it's
bro?
supposed to be, or-
Yeah,
like, you don't know bitches look crazy.
You know, he
My
just
point.
talking about his eyelashes
no,
right there.
no,
dog.
but I'm saying,
When he be putting
but I'm
the
saying,
eyelashes
you're
down.
stupid. But I'm saying, I think there are a lot of superficial things that women do to select the men that they want to give their time to, and it's usually not the best set of characteristics by which to define somebody you're gonna give your time to.
I agree
You know
with
what I
you
mean?
100%, Des. But the problem with that is, boy, you want to fuck what you want to fuck. And
Yeah,
you're-
but I got options though.
No, and I know, and see, that's the problem, right? And that's the problem, and that's what the reality is.
Mm-hmm.
Certain people have more options than others, and the sadder reality is, even those bad women who got their shit together, and I really keep hearing all this shit about, I got my own car, my own money, my job. Guess what, bitch? You're supposed to do that. You're not doing anything special. When I hear women say that, I'm like, I'm doing all that. Like, aren't we all supposed to do that?
Right.
Like, be
Self-sufficient?
self-sufficient
You
as a
bring that to the
motherfucker.
table, right.
Adults contributing members to
Right,
society.
right.
Like, what are you doing? You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
So, and I want to talk about that later. So I'm not even gonna get into what I want to say.
Make note. We want to come back to that. Don't
Yeah, I
forget.
want to come back. I'll come back to that. All right. So, anything else we want to say about using sex as a no?
Nah,
Just don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, got
Absolutely.
it.
Keep your shit trimmed too.
Oh
Keep
my
your shit
God.
trimmed.
Oh,
They
man,
had,
we going
did
off
they have
on a
anything to
tangent.
do with
Yeah.
that, though?
Yeah, we're going off on a tangent.
You don't like him curly?
You know, you talked about
I
that.
want a
We
low
always
boy.
talk about pussy
Low boy
hair.
on there. Low boy.
And we always talk about pussy hair. I've been talking about that a lot lately, weirdly, with different people. I like to add. Yeah, like friends. Like, it's funny how it's been coming up.
Yeah.
But, dog, even a lot of women, there's some women who feel like if a man wants his pussy bald, he on some bullshit. Like, why would he want the pussy? Like, we're grown, we're adults, and he on some kid shit. So I just wanted you to say
that's just a chick.
What a way to miss out on a good nigga. That's all I'm gonna tell
There's a
you.
chick that's
But
just
see,
prone to
I don't
razor
believe-
bumps,
I
dog.
don't
She just prone to
believe-
razor bumps. That's all.
I don't believe it's a bush. I'm just saying any hair. I think and I hate that we're going this far off on tangent, but fuck it, that we here. I think if you had a woman that was shaved on the pussy lips and everything down, but just had like a little landing strip on the top, you'd be fine with that.
Of course.
No?
Would I be fine with? Would I prefer? Two different things.
I agree, but you'd
I'm
be
fine
fine
with
with
a
it. That's
Pepsi,
not
but
a
I
deal
want a
breaker.
Coke. You know what I'm saying?
That
It
wouldn't
ain't
be a
gonna
deal
stop
breaker.
you from fucking,
I'm
though.
fine with pineapple juice. I prefer mango.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
That wouldn't be a deal breaker. Okay. So if a woman uses tantrums and fighting to stop you from having a life outside of her, wow. So every time you get ready to go out, she starts
Like
tripping.
straight to the
I think
club.
a lot
I've
of niggas
experienced
have
that
That's
so
some-
much.
Those just young woman shit though.
Yeah,
No,
but I
the
think
girls ain't
older-
30s
I
and
don't think
40s
it's-
are doing
I
that?
don't- No, I don't think
No.
it stops, bro.
20s, right?
Especially if a bitch don't have a life
depends
herself.
on the woman. Yeah.
If she don't have a life herself,
Right, I get it.
Yeah.
oh my
Then the
god.
age
yeah.
doesn't matter.
Oh,
You're right.
like you
You're right.
have to have a whole prep session
Yeah.
You're right.
individually with
Right.
yourself before you approach
Start
her.
playing on Wednesday.
Yeah,
You know these niggas that hit me up talking about they trying to go. I don't even want to
I
go.
don't even want to do it. No,
Yeah, and that's how every man's selling it too. Like, man, shit, man, all that shit. Every time you turn around, that nigga like,
That's
You know what I'm
30.
saying? But you know what is a good idea though, ladies? Instead, and this would speak to later on. We're gonna talk about how to be a man's piece. But I'll give you a little insight since this hit. The best way when your man's leaving, suck him off before we go. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, empty the balls.
And you got to. You don't want that nigga at the club horny,
balls
Oh
heavy,
my
dick
God.
hard.
It might not be
Recipe
anything he
for
won't do or
disaster.
say, and he don't mean to. No, I seen a TikTok. The host say, "No, women don't understand what men go through. It's hard being horny all the time.
No,
Like every time we see a fat ass or titties, we were fine. We were clear-headed, right? Thinking about work or life, kids, whatever. And we see some big ass titties, and now all we can think about is
Every
fucking. It's
7
not our
seconds
fault.
And you
is
know when
how
you-
often a man
Come on.
thinks about it.
and
bro.
you know when your work pants tight. You know when your work pants tight. Don't do that shit to us, man.
And you know you got ass too.
She know.
You want to show the ass off. They know it. That's the worst part. They want to show it off, and then, man, come
Niggas
on,
always looking at me when I'm at work. Just cause my pants 2 sizes too small.
or
and
my
ass
titties
fat.
out. you
But
know.
no, seriously though, before your man heads out, if he's leaving on a trip for the
Oh.
weekend, if he's going to the club, if you could get him before work every morning, that'd be ideal. But as not nearly as necessary as when he's going to be gone for an extended period of time. Got to. Got to.
Agreed.
All right, so she has a double standard, asking you to do things that she's not doing herself. Man, what is more toxic than that?
I honestly remember going through some shit where a chick I was dealing with told me that I want you to be romantic, more romantic, right?
She told you that?
Yeah, and you know I'm an old
You must have
chivalrous
been treating her
motherfucker.
like
you
a
lick,
hoe.
you,
Like,
you
what-
lick,
what's
you
going
lick
on?
feet bottoms, so I know she ain't.
It happened one time. I wish she would have cleaned her feet before, but it's all good. I did what I did. You know what I'm
Hashtag crunchy.
Yeah. So and so I made a concerted effort and I started planning. I remember I used to start planning with you on a Friday night.
We was on our romance.
We was on
shit.
our romance shit. We would plan a whole thing out of what we were gonna accomplish. And
I never got pussy some of those
and,
nights.
and I didn't either. So
Damn.
to me,
I'm a grateful bitch.
you said, God, it's true though. I'm not even gonna. You know what? I'm gonna let you ride with that one.
No,
because
how
it's
many
just
how many
reality.
women wish their man would light candles and draw a bath for them,
Or put a
or-
picnic in the living room and,
Or-
and do conversation cards and get, you know what I'm saying?
or have a little mini gift treasure hunt in their own home? with-
Exactly,
with notes and
bruh.
little gifts, like the romance that women talk about and they see on movies and say, I want it.
They
A lot
don't
of
really
times
want
when they get it,
They're not.
you know, they're not appreciative.
It should be reciprocated, which is what the point that I'm really trying to make, and the point that you're trying to make is, if we're putting that energy out into the atmosphere, bitch, we should get that back.
Do you
just
want
as
that?
much or
You want
tenfold.
romantic gestures, or do you want some pussy?
I like a little mix of both.
Because what's romantic to me, honestly,
Is only pussy?
no, I just want you to grab a blunt or two, my
Oh,
stash, get my ashtray, pour me a
Okay.
little drink of Henny,
Yeah.
and sit me down and had a pillow
yeah.
out there, and don't just suck me off immediately. Rub my feet first.
Oh, that's nice.
Hey,
a little
hey,
coconut oil.
Listen, I
Coconut,
appreciate
cocoa
you.
butter.
Oh, cocoa. You always is
A little
adamant
word,
about the cocoa.
a few
butter.
words of affirmation. You know what I'm saying?
Words of affirmation make me bust fast too.
Yeah, if you big a nigga up while you stroking him and give him a hand job, come on, man.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Oh my God!
the-
You can accelerate the whole process.
So the
10
sex
times,
ended so
tenfold.
fast, you ask yourself, why didn't you shut the fuck up? Because you're not gonna get none now. You know what I'm saying? That nigga sleep now. You know what I'm saying? Like it'll really expedite things. But so yeah, you do that, man. That's romantic to me. And finish me off with some head and a hand job. Don't let a basketball game be on behind you or a little porn. Porn is even.
Oh, I
harder.
like doing
yeah,
a
put
little porn
on in
situation,
the back.
man.
That's right. But yeah, that double standard. If she's not doing it, then you know she's the worst. And don't complain about it either. Don't complain about what you're not getting if you're not doing it either, ladies. You know what I'm saying? Don't ask for something that you're not doing.
They will though, because I've
That
experienced
sense
it.
of
It's just
entitlement.
not right, man.
Yeah, he just saying don't.
It's just not right, bro.
If a woman belittles your accomplishments or points out your flaws in attempt to give you low self-esteem,
You gotta
man,
leave her. You gotta
That's
leave her.
crazy.
You gotta leave her.
Yeah, I've
She don't
never
fuck- she don't
heard
like you.
a
She don't
woman
care
try
about
to
you.
belittle you.
Yeah, she don't care about you. She in it for some other reason, and it's not your happiness because that's the opposite of happiness, right? So she's doing things that are opposite to the whole reason she should be with you, right? Which is y'all joint pursuit of happiness. That bitch got ulterior motives. You got to go. Got to.
Get his college degree. She was like,
Period.
"So, nigga, a lot of people got it."
Nigga, you think you smart because you got a degree? Bitch, I'm a manager.
I've been at McDonald's for 3 years now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and nothing wrong with that, but come on, man, stop it.
Just give everyone they roses while they here, man.
Or your
Eliminate
tulips
all
and
that
daisies.
bullshit.
Everybody got
Whatever
roses
you can
money.
afford,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Get what you can.
I mean,
Even if you still gotta steal the flowers out of another nigga yard.
I mean, they sell it for $5 on OBT. I mean, you could get it.
And they good because all them stolen too. Fresh out the back of the flower shop.
If a woman uses emotion as a weapon, and boy, women are good at this shit too.
Shit.
Y'all will shed a tear so fast. You know?
Fucking
Have you ever dealt with a
Taekwondo
woman
masters.
that cries easily?
Boy, not with me, boy, because you need to shut them. You got to cut them tears out. I don't give a
Yeah.
fuck about
Tears
them.
don't do shit for you, for
Let me tell you
real?
something.
For
And
real?
listen, I tell my daughter that shit. I'm telling her early, man. I'm preparing her. The other day she did some shit, man.
Yeah.
And she in the wrong too. Fuck my son up.
Yeah.
Okay, fuck. Whole side of his jaw red, dog. Like,
God dang,
God
give him a
damn.
two-piece?
she stole his ass in the jaw. Bow.
I'm proud of her.
You know what I'm saying? Stole him in the jaw. You know he can't do nothing.
Yeah.
So he comes to the room holding his face.
Yeah, because he would have killed her.
Oh. So I'm talking to her. And I'm like, hey, why you do this? No, she started crying. She's the aggressor.
Yeah.
She started crying. I felt like he was gonna do something. I was trying to protect myself. I'm like, did he touch you? No. And you stole the cat in the jaw? Dog, but she trying to cry, and I told her, I got real with her. I looked at her and I said, man, if you don't cut all that fucking crying out, don't nobody care about that shit.
She
I
learned
don't
it
give a-
early, dog.
Come on, I don't give a fuck. I said, when you finish crying, come get this punishment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nah, man.
Because people can use that as a form of manipulation. And,
Dead ass.
and that's the
That's
problem.
what they do, though.
And that's
exactly
and
what
that's
they do.
sickening because you know, like I know I don't like to see a woman cry. I'm like, man, come on, stop that, man. Come on, what
And if-
can I
and
do?
if
What
your
can I
lady
do?
knows
Stop
that,
it.
You're most acceptable to
dog,
her.
so because she knows it. And I'll admit, I don't like seeing a woman cry,
Oh, she can't, huh?
but she can. You beat me to it. You better believe she can. And there was a time in my life where tears would have got me like, God damn, all right. But nah, not now. Cry if you want to, ho. I'd rather you cry than me.
Yeah, real talk. Hey,
You know what I'm saying? All right, so she uses ultimatums when things don't go her way. I'll tell you for a fact, and I'll jump this off, I've never done well with ultimatums. If given one, I will always go opposite of what you were really asking me to
Right.
do. You stupid, silly hoe. You will
Right.
not challenge me. Whenever I am met with aggression, I only know to throw more aggression
to.
at it. So I don't understand, do this or this. I'm like, well, it's going to be or that then.
let me tell you why that is, right? Because, and this is sad, a lot of dudes ain't worth shit because you are self-sufficient. It is very easy to stay true to your beliefs and to your principles
point.
if you don't need another human being for your survival and for your well-being. If you depend on a bitch for her couch, her food, her house, her car, any of that stuff, now you got to swallow your fucking pride all the time. All the time. If you don't need a bitch for nothing, you can tell her to kick rocks at any point it's suitable. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that has something to do with it as well. You know?
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I don't like the ultimatum deal as well, man. Because I'm just like, what do you think that's gonna happen when you are forcibly trying to tell someone that if you don't do this, then I'm doing this?
Motherfuckers capitulate all the time. That's why it occurs though.
Shit, like I can't fathom it, bro. You know, I've allowed it to I think I've allowed it to potentially have me think about swaying, but to fully sway and actually
you've never done that. You've actually been faced with ultimatums before, as you know.
Plenty.
Yeah, especially in your last real situation.
yeah, plenty,
and she
constantly.
and it didn't work out for her.
She was playing with less chips than you were. That was a bad strategic tactic for her though.
And the problem with that is, and I'll even jump to that because I want to talk about that earlier.
Get
I'm
in
gonna
it,
bring
baby.
now.
Get in it.
It's about your value, ladies. What value do you bring to a nigga's life?
Speak on it.
You see, so many of y'all only really bring pussy to the table. Pussy everywhere. It's at Publix. It's
Everywhere.
at Walmart. It's at Aldi's.
The
And
mama
all
got
these
it.
too?
The mama got
It's
it.
a lot more Winn-Dixies. You know what I'm saying?
Shit,
Around-
Wawa. They be at Wawa.
Yeah, that bit Wawa. They be at and Wawa hot at lunchtime. You go to Wawa at 12 to 2.
Hey,
Oh
you in the
yeah,
game.
it's
get
popping
you a
over
warm
there.
sandwich.
So, you know, what are you really bringing to the table of value? That's why it's so important to be a man's piece. Because it's, again, you talked about being self-sufficient, Daz. If a man doesn't need you to take care of him and provide for him, which, please, fellas, most real men wouldn't need. what do you bring beyond peace, beyond the vibe, beyond good energy? Because if it's nagging, it's questioning, and you're unable to follow, and you're just questioning everything, if you don't want to submit, because I've always said submission works both ways, a man expects submission because he knows he'll submit to your needs and your desires. But once it's not coming his way, then he got to do what he got to do, and all bets are off. So what value are you bringing? Shut the hell up sometimes, ladies. That's why we're going to get into it right now. What you need to do to be a man's peace. What a man wants. And we're going to, it's simple, nigga.
Let's get at it then.
Number one.
I know what it is.
Sex, nigga.
I knew it.
We need that pussy. We need head.
Pussy.
We need anal.
Why you always gotta say it like
Who are
that?
you though? Because we know you.
We need throat fucking.
You just gonna get excited about it.
and we need what I just provided on my answer. Enthusiasm.
Hand
While
jobs
you
across the
doing
board
it.
as well. Hand
I
jobs,
mean, come
underrated.
on, everybody don't know. Man,
Keep speaking on it. It's
yeah,
gonna be a
we're
movement.
We actually gonna talk about that on our next Sex and Mimosas. More.
Oh, yeah.
A great guest who's
yeah.
gonna be with us too. So you guys are gonna enjoy it. But enthusiastic sex. A lot of ladies think, yeah, I gave it to him, but did you give it to him?
He
with
took
some,
it. Right.
Did he take it? Was it some obligatory sex?
Right.
Because without enthusiasm, yeah, we're gonna take that nut, but it's not gonna really keep us happy. We know when y'all just going through the motions. Just give us a little something.
Yeah.
So men are really simple, you know. And sex to me is the main thing we need.
Word.
Anybody got any? Can't argue that.
Nah.
There's not a whole lot to add.
First, if we go in the order, that's first.
That's first.
That's first. We see what second is.
Yeah. Secondly, we need. This one was. I actually moved this around, so don't follow the orders.
Okay.
But I thought it was related. We don't want to be shamed for being horny all the time. That made the list. Apparently, men feel bad for always feeling horny, and we don't want. You ever had a chick say it to me all the time because they're talking about their man? Man, that nigga just always want it.
Dang,
I think real women know that's what it is though. Like
Yeah.
that's how men
They
are
still
built.
seem to all, a lot of them still to complain, but okay. We need to know what you need.
Communication.
We don't need it to be implied. We need a direct answer is, I need this. I would love it if that.
And you know the worst part is, if you ask most women what do they need, oh my God, they have so much trouble painting that picture.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you could take them to a painting with a twist and have an instructor and they still couldn't fucking paint that picture. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It is. So if you don't know what the fuck it is, how the fuck you want us to figure out what the fuck it is? Like, and I struggle with that consistently. Like, everyone feels like they like it's some basic ass shit like you know what I need. No, I don't. Because everyone is different. You know, some people don't need the same level of support as one other person may need. Some people don't need the same level of sex or intimacy as one other person needs. Or you know what I'm saying? So you just don't know. It's a sliding scale. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Y'all got to do better with that.
All right, so talk to your man. Just simply say what you want. Don't make him have to read your mind. Next, positive feedback. Man, I don't know if most women, you know, and maybe the good ones are doing it for sure, but I don't think most women are doing that. Providing constructive criticism is one thing, and it's fine. But when you're nagging, when you're constantly coming at it, it's different. You know what I mean? I think you have to say it once and leave it be. And obviously, if he repeats that behavior, you know, he brings it back up himself. But you got to trust it and leave things be after it's brought up. But I think a lot of men aren't getting any positive feedback and any real words of confirmation. And when I talked about that earlier when I was talking about what I would want, you know what I mean? Talking about what he does and not always focusing on what he doesn't do. Giving him a little credit for the things he does. Hey, I appreciate that you cooked dinner last night. Hey, I appreciate that you got the kids all week because you know I had something to do at work. Because all of these things add value to your life and help you go about your day smoothly and successfully. You get what I'm saying?
See how you feel about that, bro.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think so. I don't necessarily need the words per se. I just think a visible appreciation. However that person shows appreciation for what I do in the relationship, as long as I can see that, I'm good, right? Like,
However they or however you want it, because isn't it more about how you receive love and not how they choose to give it?
no, for me, I just need to know that they appreciate my contribution. As long as I'm able to interpret the way that they show appreciation, it doesn't necessarily have to be my preference
You're exactly
for being
okay.
shown appreciation.
Oh, you're a
know what
good
I mean?
man. You're a
Got
good
it.
man.
So yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Would that work for everything, or does that work for some things? Because
What you mean?
because I was gonna bring this up a bit later as far as learning how to treat your man, and one of the things I was gonna talk about is not only knowing his love languages, but also knowing how he receives love, knowing how he wants to be loved. Because what I know to be true, and I've experienced, a lot of women will love you and they love you, but they do things that hurt you, and you ask yourself why. They're loving you the way they know how. They're loving you the way they see best, and not maybe what you're communicating that you need and how you receive it. So when you say that she's showing appreciation, however, I can get that as far as from an appreciation standpoint. But when it comes to love, I think it goes a little deeper, right? You kind of want to be loved, and you're going to receive love a certain way. If you don't do this, then I don't see that.
Yeah, I mean,
Or feel.
yeah, but I think that comes to the earlier point you made. I think a bullet before about clear communication, right? So like, when I'm in a relationship with somebody, I'm the unambiguous communicator. Like, I'm direct and I'm blunt, and I prefer to have relationships with people that are way. And this isn't a luck thing. It's just how I choose the people I'm in relationships with. I choose people that communicate well. So there are no questions or concerns about their communication. I determine that way before I commit to being in a relationship with them. So I don't typically have communication issues. In those situations, I say, hey, look, here's how I operate. Here's how, if you have problems with me, I like to receive that feedback. Here's how I like to be shown, like all those things.
Yeah.
And typically, I have relationships with people who are able to provide that for me, and vice versa. Because I agree with you. I mean, if I'm not able to get that in a way that is suitable for me, then I won't remain in a relationship.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
For me, going back to that whole subject around positive feedback, I feel like if you're dating someone, you're not going to know them that well to be able to provide them the positive feedback that is going to be customized to how they want to receive it, like what you were saying, right? However, women, if you've been with your man for any considerable amount of time, you should know how to make him happy, how to piss him off, how to make him sad, how to make him, feel great. You know all of these things. If you decide to do something that is counteractive against positive reinforcement and support, that's because you're selfish, and that's what you decided to do. Because if you know what makes a man tick, and you know your man, and you make a conscious decision to do anything else but provide that positive feedback because you know how to make him feel a certain way, man, shame on fucking you.
Let me say something, but I have a slight disagreement with you saying. So like, if you're, because here's the thing, right? I heard an analogy, not an analogy, but on that movie we were talking about earlier, there's only 1 degree that separates water from ice, right? 29 degrees is water, 30 degrees is ice. So what I mean by that is,
I see what
you're talking about you can't when you're dating somebody, you may not be in a position to tell them. Well, I mean, like, you're only dating them before they become your boyfriend or your girlfriend, right? Like,
Yeah.
they're either one or the other. So at some point, yeah, when you're dating a motherfucker for 2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're dating, and like, to be honest, if I'm dating for 2 or 3 weeks and you can't seem to get with the program, I can't see a trajectory towards what I need, then you won't get to week 7. And if you already made it to week 16 and we got some real shit going, then I can talk to your ass about what I need, because we've been dating for 3 months now. You might not be my girlfriend, but if you've made it to week 16, there's a strong possibility that you want to be, and that I'm considering that. And so if I can't have that conversation with you while we're dating, bitch, you ain't gonna never be my girlfriend.
So,
So
I completely agree.
you know?
I'm just saying shame on you for the ones that been in the game for a while and still ain't doing it. Like, you know that person, right? There's no reason, if you have the map, and that's if you paying attention, because there's a lot of people in relationships that don't pay attention to their significant others, so they don't know what makes them tick. But man, you got to be dunce as fuck if you can't.
And that's what I
Observe some
said earlier a bit, as far as learning your partner's habits and how and it's how they receive love and what they need. Because one thing Dad said, he communicates those things up front. That's beautiful. And if you can do that and they can do the same for you,
That's
they're
beautiful. That's exactly
essentially
what you want.
giving you the blueprint that you each are on how to treat one another, and then there really shouldn't be any issues, because once an issue arises, you say, oh, that nigga said do this, give him 10 minutes that, one rub on the balls and a spit on the dick, and you're good to go. I mean, so, you know what I mean? So when you age again. So, yeah, I think as long as that's going on, then you're good. Next, I wanted to say that as far as what a man wants, we want to be desired. We want to be desired. We need to know that you want us, that you turn us, that we turn you on, and that you value us. You know, and women think that sex thing only goes one way, but you know how you feel when you leave the barbershop, you just clean,
Fresh to death.
you know, you feel like
So fresh and so
everybody want to fuck you.
Oh,
If he don't come home,
a bitch could just half lock eye with you. You be like, she want to fuck.
yeah, and you might slide on her. Your swag's on 100. You know what I mean? And you come home and your girl didn't even know you got a haircut.
That's how, or she say this, so that's how you got to cut. Why you do that?
Oh,
That hurt even more.
Why you get it cut like that?
Yeah.
You ain't like it the other way you had it?
Man, I heard that. That's real. Man, I ain't see that one coming. Yeah, that hurt my feelings like that. But
you ain't put that cocoa bean 57 in your beard this week? I've gotten that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that a coloring for gray hairs?
Yeah.
So-
yeah, I'm like, man, I ain't doing it this
not a
time.
problem
man.
since you don't grow any facial hair.
I know.
You bastard.
Hey, you know what? Cool. Saving on die.
But that's funny though, because you know women get mad at that. They come home from the salon and you don't say nothing about their hair. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
But you come home 3-4 days go by and they be like, you got a haircut? Like, yeah, bitch, 4 days ago. God damn it. So we want to be listened to, and most importantly, without interruption.
Now, that's the shit I have a big problem with. I hate being talked over. Like, bitch, you ain't even heard what I have to say, but you got a whole opinion?
Are y'all good at staying quiet while you're?
I'm actually pretty decent about it.
Staying
Like,
quiet?
yeah, but you know, this is alert behavior because
You gotta focus on it.
oh my
Yeah,
God,
me too.
because you know, sometimes like when you're younger, you already got your whole, like, you only thinking about your response. You're not really listening anymore. So you just like, oh, I got one for this time. I got one for, and then you just waiting to hopscotch in this bitch. But so you're not really actively listening. But that is a big thing for me, is being able to get my point across without you saying something.
They say a lot of men don't want to be in relationships because being vulnerable to a woman, it doesn't always work, as far as them throwing things in your face, and it's just difficult for men to open up. You know, just based on how men are typically raised, our fathers, you know, this generation can change if we change it, but you know, a lot of women, you know, are dealing with those difficulties of opening up. So, you know, when a man starts talking, you really should listen to foster that level of openness.
I can only stop. I can listen, but you gotta be making sense. You sound stupid. You're not making a point
Interrupt.
for which for me to respond, because I'm listening for salient points for which to be able to formulate a valid response to what you're saying. And I don't do good with people arguing with their emotions, right?
But isn't that every woman though? They're not
No.
they're not arguing logic for the most
I
part.
think that's most women.
Yeah.
But I try to find the ones that don't fit that
Yeah.
kind of phenotype, because I can't. So if you're talking about you feel this way, you feel that way, like, if I think you're wrong, I can't do anything about that, right? Like, I need to know
You want facts, huh?
what specifically made you feel this way. Why did you feel this way? Like, and you know what you come to realize, and we've talked about this before. We shit on men a lot, but a lot of women, a lot of motherfuckers don't know how to use their words and communicate. And it's
true.
like, it boggles my mind. It boggles my mind because, like, I pride myself on being able to communicate. I pride myself on being able to communicate clearly, so that there's no confusion or ambiguity around what I want and what I need. And when other motherfuckers can't do that, it boggles my fucking mind. It's like, how'd you make it to this age without being able to effectively communicate? I don't understand it.
Because there's
right?
levels to everything, and you don't
Supposedly,
have to be a high level communicator in order to be successful. in life. Like there's levels to everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm talking about. I mean, like
As a woman, men,
Totally
I don't
agree
think
with
men are expected to know how to
Totally agree with
communicate at the same level as a woman.
I
Like,
think yeah, I think you're right.
and so when you and I prove this by saying, have you ever gone out on a date and she's floored about your ability to hold the conversation?
All the time.
That seems to be
Something
the
as
thing
simple
that
as
sticks out
fucking.
most
Oh my god.
Yeah.
to women. It's as if they expect you not to be able to hold one.
Or be expressive, right?
Yeah. Like what?
That's
What
what
do
this-
it makes you kind of wonder what they go through on their
I
ends,
am man.
you know, because how are these other niggas handling it? But that is funny. So learning how to treat your man, you got to kick it. And we talked about learning him. You got to kick it with him on his terms. You got to plan a date where you do activities that he would like and not something that you would like. Because all the time, men stay going to the mall and shit like that, doing the things that you want. When the last time you went with him to the gym, you know?
Man, real specific.
No, and I didn't even mean that in the way y'all think. I'm just saying that what if that's the thing? I was gonna say other things too, like to the.
But we knew you were
watch a
gonna go there,
game,
though.
You know what I mean? I know. I mean that.
To the bonnet shop.
There's a specific shop for the bonnet.
Isn't that just Sally's Beauty? Slow.
No, ladies, though, seriously, real shit. On a Saturday night, don't wear that bonnet. If shit that hard and you can't get your hair right the next day, damn.
It's like a cloth shower cap. Right?
Sneak it on in the middle of the night. Yeah, it's like a shower cap, a cloth shower cap, a satin shower cap.
Is that when they get braids?
No, it's just all the time,
it's just,
dog.
it's,
Really?
yeah, it prevents the frizz, bro.
You look so shocked about all of it.
Because he is.
All of our listeners like, we know what type of girls he like.
Ones that don't wear bonnets.
So not a black woman. then.
Actually,
That's not true.
I don't have
All
an
black girls don't
overall.
wear bonnets.
Yeah, not all of them do, and I don't have a problem with it. I just don't want you to keep it on when you're having sex. To me, just make it.
That's lazy.
Just for the conservative.
That's disrespectful, dog.
Yeah, that's
just take
lazy.
the effort, dog, to just pull it off, comb it, comb that shit out, and just allow us to just run our hands through something.
KP said his don't wear no
Yeah,
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 not everyone does.
Not the right one.
yeah.
If you're going to sleep, straight. Because let me tell you, I'm gonna be out in 15 minutes too.
Especially if you pay for that hairstyle. You want
Sneak
that
it on,
shit
sneak it on in the middle of the night.
in the middle of the night.
Sneak it on in the middle of the night. That's all you gotta do. Talk to your man with respect. I think this one is probably the most important one because
Yeah.
so many women talk to their niggas sideways, undeservingly. I'd like to add, and these, don't get slapped, ladies.
God damn.
Don't
Or
get
left. Or left.
or left. You know what I'm saying? But the reality is, talking crazy to your man. And the crazy thing about that is, and I ask many women this now, it's my new favorite question. When you disrespect your man, when you talk crazy to him, when you disrespect him in any way and he stays with you, do you still respect him? Every woman that said no. Every woman that says no, I look at him differently now, even though they wanted the nigga to give him another
So these
chance.
chicks are trying them.
My point is, they're like a child, a young child being raised. They want to do what they want to do, but they secretly want the discipline. They secretly want you to ground them or punish them and restrict them and give them boundaries and rules. Y'all women ain't shit, though.
And listen, it's the same thing.
No, but because they talk so much, and I'm sorry, but they talk so much shit about niggas ain't shit, Have y'all really sat back and looked at yourselves and said, damn, we fucked up too? And what else we gonna do? Y'all so fucked up, nigga gotta deal with 3-4 of y'all. God damn it, nigga deal with one of y'all. No, and I'm not saying all women, because there are good women, and Des, we talk about this all the time. When you got a good one, you better fucking keep it. But some of y'all know y'all ain't shit, and you want a nigga to be with just you, bitch? Please. Just you? You don't even like you.
Oh damn.
You know what? This ain't gonna be the podcast for it, but we have another podcast, whether it's sex and emotion or something else.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about this, and it's about value, both mentally and physically, that folks bring in relationship.
Yeah.
And I won't go into details, right? And this is kind of now out in the ether, but if you I ain't picking on nobody, ladies. So if this fits you, it's just the fucking luck of the draw, I suppose, right? But if you're 37, 38, 5'4", 5'5". You weigh 230, 245.
That's high, man.
Like what you?
It can't be.
You know what I'm saying? You got the 2 jits at home by yourself. You're hard working. You're educated. We love you for that, sister. Round of applause for you, right?
Yeah.
But you think a nigga gonna see you in your situation and go, damn,
That's the one right there.
What is your
That's what I've been
degree
waiting
mean?
for. That's what I've been waiting for.
Yeah.
So the ability to take care of yourself and make something.
Yeah, I
but,
guess.
But my point is that you got to be real. Bitch want to talk about she got a pretty face, but your body ain't pretty. And your energy ain't pretty. So you ain't pretty. You know what I'm saying? You got to be a whole person.
You know what they say. You know my issue. Who I'm mad at the most right now. I love that we're here. I'm mad at you, big girls with shitty attitudes. Ain't y'all supposed to be fucking cool? Ain't y'all supposed to be jolly and shit?
Supposed to be the nicest.
Sucking dick and cooking meals. Like, aren't y'all supposed to be the easiest vibe? Like, I don't understand.
That part when they have both of those things, like sucking dick and cooking meals, those are my favorite type of people.
No, I just don't understand that
Yeah,
shit. Like,
yeah.
balance out your personality and your reality. If I was ugly as shit, I'd probably try harder in a relationship. I think everybody would. You know what I'm saying? So it's just balance your shit out. You know what I mean?
That's fair, bro.
One more question before we wrap it up. What do you value most from a woman in a relationship?
Go to Gent first.
Yeah. You gonna go to some long-winded, I love a whole
that's why I
shit.
need the
That's
time.
why I don't even know why.
God damn,
you got
why
it
you gonna
now.
do
You
this
got
like
it now.
that?
Go ahead.
Mine is simple, bro.
Go ahead. What do you
It's
value
it's
most?
it's reciprocation. See what I'm doing and meet me where I'm at, because
I like that.
I'm gonna feel a certain way when I'm feeling shortchanged, and that's just that's the easiest tip that I could give you if you dealing with me. If I feel shortchanged, and I feel wrong, I'm gonna start acting different, and that's not even what we want. That's not even what I want. Anyway.
Reciprocity, ladies.
Yeah, simple.
I can give you mine if you need time or you got yours. Consistency. Consistency. Just keep doing it. I mean,
Just do it. You want to put it on your chest like that?
Just do it. Nike said it best. Just do it every day. Every day, like 1% better. Be consistent. Consistency gets you everything if you think about it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you talking about 5'4", 230. Consistency will help you there too, ho.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
consistently
saying?
Take your ass to the gym.
Sure, and consistently eat less. God damn it.
Yeah.
So it's so easy. I saw a meme like, no, to lose weight, work out more, eat less. Bitches out here acting like it's rocket science and shit.
Spent $300 on a diet last week that had her losing 2 pounds
Man,
of doo-doo weight. She
Not a
needs
doo-doo
it.
weight.
Yeah. Go ahead and go to that gym. $42 a month. If you go to Planet Fitness, it costs you 10. No sign-up fees. We ain't bashing the big girls. What we saying is just an appetite for consistency from Jeezy's point.
I like
For
a
me,
little cushion.
I like them thick too.
It's a short memory. What I mean by that is, now somebody's gonna hold stuff up against me or
That's a
hold
good
it to
one,
me
dude.
years later. Now somebody that's gonna hold grudges. Like, I'll tell you this, and sometimes it's awkward in relationships. I don't hold grudges. Like, I don't hold grudges, right? Because if it's bad enough where somebody's really wronged me, I leave their ass. So we're talking about minor shit in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
And you can get in a fight on a Saturday morning, 10, 11 o'clock. You piss me off. By 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock, maybe an hour later, I'm like, hey, let's squash this shit. Oh, now you want to squash it? Well, yeah, because I don't want to waste the whole Saturday being mad about some shit that ultimately, whether it's later on tonight or tomorrow, we're going to end up being cool about it. So let's cut the bullshit out and let's be cool with it. And I say this a lot in relationships. So let me know how long you want to be mad so I can plan accordingly. I'm dead ass. Like, I'm trying to
They don't get mad after you make that
They
statement.
might, but just add the time to the goddamn answer.
Yeah.
I'm trying
Put it on the backhand.
I'm trying to extend the olive branch. If you don't want it, if it's that Saturday afternoon and you're gonna be mad till tomorrow, now I know I'm going out tonight. I'm gonna hang with my friends. I'm doing something. If you cool and you letting this shit go, if we gonna go see a movie, let's get something to eat. Let's keep it at the house. But I just need to know because you're not gonna be mad about this shit on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So how long you gonna stay mad for?
They-
Short memory.
They say
nice, Steve. That's nice right
they say the one that forgets the quickest is the happiest.
Yeah.
It's true.
So
I'm happy as a motherfucker.
hey. All right. So remember, just this final note for me, ladies. Remember, you do control sex, but men, we control relationships and marriage. You cannot marry yourself, ho. You can't get in a relationship by yourself. You can fuck
I think
yourself.
that is
however.
called asexual. So, but
No, they can fuck them. You can play with the pussy. I mean, send me a video, but
Side note. Go ahead, finish.
No, that's just my point though. Remember that you control sex, and when a man gets it, etc. But as far as relationship goes, a man's in control. If you don't remember that and act accordingly, that's the reason you're alone. You think you got the goddamn power, and if you get into a relationship and all of a sudden forget that he's the reason you're together, well, you probably lose that relationship too. And this is just the reality. Y'all already winning with the pussy and the sex. Y'all gotta have it all. Go ahead.
So we concluded that this has nothing. This is,
Yeah.
I was today years old when I found out, when I really listened to the lyrics where Baby said, I like him fucking him in the ass while he beat up the pussy. You remember that?
I just heard that song today. That's crazy.
And I was like, I just thought about that. I was like,
Yeah.
so y'all right there with each other.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well,
Babies
we'll talk about porn next on the next Sex and Mimosas, because I don't know how niggas do that. And you know niggas is double dicking in the pussy too.
Yep. Called DVP.
Fucking
Why do
shame.
you know these
Double vaginal
terms?
penetration.
Why do you know these
No,
terms?
that day is the day I called in sick to work. You know what? That's what y'all want today. Not feeling well. Fuck out of here. Listen, man, we love y'all.
We do.
Brunch with the Boys. Check all the socials out there, man. We out here, bruh. At Brunch with the Boys Instagram. At Boys underscore brunch at Twitter. We on TikTok at Brunch with the Boys, and you check us out on Facebook. YouTube presence out there. We on all podcast platforms. Let's do it like we do it.
Look at Gent. He looked like a nigga that had 2 old fashions on the podcast. Don't he? Look,
About
look, just,
3.
if you never met him before, don't he look like a nigga that had 2 old fashions?
If you seen the shoes that he got on, you would know that's the
Oh,
type of-
D,
Yeah.
I feel like Country Wayne in that in that video you sent me. Well, I feel like I could be an old man
Yeah.
pimping.
No, that's you. That was
Getting
you.
these young
definitely
girls.
gonna be
It's like,
you.
hey, girl, let me just tell you something.
We appreciate y'all. We love y'all, man. Stay safe out here. Keep listening. Each one teach one. We love you.
Yeah, coffee and brunch. We can have our conversations over coffee and brunch. Ha.